Hey guys, the 1967 Topps set is considered one of the more successful, one of the better sets, more popular sets in the Topps series, and I agree with that. I think it's a pretty clean set and had some good stuff come out of it, but not free of its errors either. And we're going to talk about some of those errors today here. So this set had 609 cards in the set, and it kind of had some of the same problems with the high numbers, where the last series of cards were not produced in great numbers and didn't sell a lot. So they're really hard to come by now. And if you have some of those high number cards, even commons in those high numbers, they're worth a lot more money. If you just look through the Beckett, you'll see when those high numbers start, they're worth a ton of money. And so the really high value cards in the set are going to come from that high number set. And we're going to talk about those. So the Mickey Mantle comes in at $400. That's definitely a notable in this set. The rest of them are going to be high numbers of these notable mentions. Rod Carew is like $500. Brooks Robinson comes in a high book value of $400, and the Tom Seaver rookie comes in at $1,000 as a high book value. One more card here. That's the Rocky Colavito 580 card. Probably my favorite card in the world. I love this card. He is my favorite player. And so, man, whenever I see this card, I grab it. I'm not sure what it values for, 100, 150 probably. It's actually his most valuable card, even more than his rookie, because of it being a high number card. So just like a lot of those sets, those high numbers are always going to bring in more value. But we're going to go down the list here real quick of all the errors and variations in the set. You know, if you have a lot of these cards, you may want to look for some of these errors. Let's see here. Most of them are not corrected, but a lot of them are. All right, we're going to start with number 5, Whitey Ford, Hall of Fame pitcher. Cool guy. This one was uncorrected. Has a high book value of about $40. I feel like he's one of the more affordable Hall of Famers around that time that are pretty notable. Let's see. So in 1953, it says his stats on the back are actually 1933. Well, that's obviously the error. They just got the wrong year on there for some reason. Bob Pretty, number 26. So he was traded near the end of the season, and they didn't catch that. So when they made his card, it shows that he's on the Giants on the front, but Senators on the back, because he was traded to the Senators. And on the back, on the bottom of the narrative, it has a little thing that says he was traded to the Senators. So that's kind of a cool one there. And they're considered variations. The traded one with the traded note is worth $4. The one without the traded note is the one that's more valuable, has a high book value of $30. So we're going to have one more of those coming up here. All right, let's go to number 58, Paul Shaw. So just kind of a weird printing anomaly along the top here of his bat. It turns green, so it's just called the green bat variation. Got both of them. They did correct that one. The errors were $20, so the green bat variant $20. The corrected is worth a whole $1.50. Roger Maris, we passed him, number 45. So he was traded this year, and they actually did make a card with him on the Yankees, where he was traded from. But it wasn't distributed. It was kind of one of those proof cards that didn't really go anywhere. And it was a blank back card. There's a few of these out there. And these things are expensive. They're $1,500. The corrected one is still worth $60. Because, man, collectors love their Roger Maris. He is not a Hall of Famer, but he goes down in history for hitting those 61 home runs. So they didn't actually correct that one because the Yankees one was never actually distributed, but a cool one nonetheless. They're a cool conversation piece. Number 72, George Corinth, rookie, has, of course, 2 people on the card. They got the wrong person there. That's not, here we go, this one right there was not the right guy. That is a picture of James Murray Brown. So I always feel bad for players when they got the wrong person pictured there. Has a $1.50 value on that, so that one was not corrected. Next one is number 86, Mike McCormick. So just like that other one here, where he was traded near the end of the season, they have a little note here that says Mike was traded to the Giants in December of 1966. So even though both of the fronts say Senators, One on the one back says Senators, one says Giants, and kind of has the same value as the other one too. The $4 traded, and the $30 for the one that does not have the traded note on it. So kind of cool in there. They're considered variations, not necessarily errors. All right, card number 103 is a checklist of Mickey Mantle. Well, if you are looking for some real Mickey Mantle cards for a pretty low price here, these checklist cards are kind of cool to scoop up. They're hard to find without marks on them, though, because the kids back in the day, man, they were making these sets and they were just checking them. So it's really, as you can see on this one here, it's hard to find without the check marks on them. But the error comes on the back, number 170, D. McAuliffe. Now, it comes with one of them has a period after the D, and I'll throw up a picture of it here. And then another one has this weird looking, looks like a little I. I mean, it's just a little print anomaly after the D. Well, the corrected one has the period. The one without is the error. The error is not listed in the Beckett. The corrected one is worth $30 on that one. So kind of a cool one there. Number 119, Wade Blasingame. Now, on his stats in 1963, it says he played in 1923. Well, he didn't play 40 years apart, but that was the wrong year again. So just like that, the Whitey Ford one. Ed Spezio, number 128. Oh, that Wade Blasingame was never correct. It's worth $2. This Ed Spezio has a corrected one of $2, and this is the corrected one. So you see his name with the bat behind it, right there at the top. And there was a error of this card where the bat is like covering up the letters there. And that's really hard to get. And I'll throw up a picture of it here that I can find online there. I definitely don't have that error card. And there's not a price listed for that one. So kind of a cool one there. And once you see that error, you immediately realize there's something wrong with that card. So they caught it pretty quick, but I don't have it. Card number 164, Dwight Siebler. Has his 1966 stats. Now that's the last line on the card. 1966 stats they have listed as 1960. It's obviously an error. That one was not corrected. It's worth $2. Willie Mays checklist number 191. So you see, okay, so take a look at the pictures there. Right off the bat, you're going to see they cut out his head. And one of them is the Willie Mays no neck. One of them is a Willie Mays neck variation there. That's not actually the error, even though that's obviously part of the variation. This one had card number on the front, card number 214. It had Dick Kelly, and on one card it says Tom Kelly. Well, the error is that the Tom Kelly is the corrected version. It does not go by Dick Kelly. And it's $12 for the error, $10 for the corrected. So kind of cool there. Card number 223, Mike Ryan. Okay, so this one has his facsimile autograph on the front, as all the cards do. And in one of them, they just didn't dot the I. So that one's actually not in Beckett as listed as an error. So they're both worth $4. Full disclosure, though, the one that's not dotted, if you look really close, there's a tiny little black dot. So it's there, but it's hard to see. Number 254, Milt Pappas. Now, we talked about the facsimile autograph. Well, you're going to see that there's missing there. This is the only card in the set that doesn't have that facsimile autograph of base cards. So it's kind of a strange one. It was not corrected. So if you have this card, you have it without that autograph. So, which means it's not really worth any extra as well. It's just kind of a cool one. It has a high book value of $4. Johnny Odom, number 282. So this one's funny. Okay, so his birth date is September 10th of 1046. So he was born around the Crusades time, but no, that's not correct. I think it's 1946, but they didn't correct that. They put 1046 as the year. That's kind of funny. So that's a high book value of $2. So Clete Boyer, number 328, his stats end in 1965. Well, that's strange. It should end in 1966 since this is a 67 set. So you don't get to see Clete Boyer's 66 stats on that one for some reason. They did not correct that, and it's worth $5. Mel Queen, 374. Bottom line is missing on the stats. Got a couple more like these. And just the line just looks like they forgot to put it in there. It's not really a big deal. It's pretty easy to miss. But the errors were $20. So the corrected one that I have is only worth $4. Number 378, the Tigers team. Now this is kind of funny. So you got the team there, and on the back you have like the leaders, the batting and pitching leaders, of course. And under the batting leaders, under RBIs, it says Willie Horton hit 262 RBIs. Well, that would be pretty impressive to hit that many in one season, but it's not correct. He only hit 100 RBIs. So that was a pretty wild one there. It has a high book value of $8 on that one. All right, number 402, Phillies rookie. Rookies has the bottom line missing. This is the corrected one here. Now the errors were $20. This corrected one here is only worth $8. Bob Bruce. Got both versions here. This is the 417 card, number 417. On the back, right next to his name, here it has the team that he's on, and it says the Atlanta Braves. But on the error, they misspelled Braves. I think this is probably the most common, I don't know, maybe the most popular error in this set. It says Arbaves, R-B-A-V-E-S. So they did correct that one, of course. I got both of them there. The error's worth $30. That corrected is only worth $4. Bo Belinsky, number 447. This one has... Okay, so the bottom line is missing on the totals. Kind of like one of those others there. And this one was corrected. The error is worth the error is worth $4. The correct is worth $8. So, and this is one of those examples where we see the corrected is actually worth more. Now, when you see that, of course, that's normally where they corrected it late in the year. So the error has a lot more out there. So the corrected one is they actually made less of them. All right, Ruben Gomez, number 427. Also, totals line is missing, or it's obscured is what it says here. So $20 error and a $4 corrected. So I got the corrected one here. Do not have that error of that one. All right, let's keep moving here. Number 454. This is the checklist with Juan Marichal on there. So I'm going to throw up a side-by-side of this one here because you really got to see the picture of his head that's cut out. So this is weird, okay? And one of my favorite errors. They cut off one of his ears. So his left ear is cut off. And it's not that big of a deal. So but they did come back and correct that. So that has his left ear showing there. And so they did correct that one. And the error and the corrected are both worth $12. So probably caught about halfway through production. They could have left it and it would never been an issue, but they felt the need to correct it. So Phil Niekro, Hall of Fame pitcher, and this is card number 456, has a book value of about $15, so it's a cheap one. And in 1965, it says his ERA was .288 instead of 2.88. So it's kind of a weird one because they're all corrected except for that one has the decimal in the wrong place. So it'd be pretty horrible ERA if it was .288, but it's not correct. They did not correct that one. All right, got a couple more here. The Bob Bullen, number 252. Now this one is not listed in Beckett, but it's PSA recognizes it as an error, and between his first and last name there's a white streak. So this is called the white streak error. And it's really hard to get. I mean, I was checking out some eBay listings on that, and sold listings are going 100 and up. Some of them over $200 for this white streak error. The corrected is worth a whopping $2. I'd love to get my hands on that one. All right, and then Hammer and Hank Aaron, number 250. In his stats in his in the years, it has two different 1961s. So you see two sets of stats. One of them is supposed to be for a different year. That card has a $100 book value on that one. Of course, because it's Hank Aaron. It was an uncorrected error, so it's not worth my money because of the error. It's worth money because of who he is. So that's all we got. That's the 1967 set. I hope you like this video, and I hope you like the set. It's a cool one. I mean, it's a pretty popular one as being considered one of the better, more desirable, well-done top sets. And I want to know what you guys think about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys are liking and subscribing. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think, what you'd like to see, what you'd like to change, and I don't know, maybe which one of these cards that you have that you didn't know about. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next time.